Hi mamas, it's Kathy, your yogi mom. And today I'll be leading you through a slow flow, which means that you'll have some space and time to tune in, to feel, and to check in with yourself. We have such a hurried pace, especially as mothers. We go from one activity to the other. So today is about slowing down and being present. Let's start on the mat in child's pose. Bring the knees apart, toes together, and sit back into the heels. Drop onto the hands or the forearms, or even all the way down to the forehead. You can also stack fist underneath the forehead. Feel the pressure underneath the feet, the support of the mat, and release the lower back. Open the hips. Close the eyes and tune into the breath. The next time you inhale, breathe wide into the back of the lungs, the back of the spine. And slowly exhale all the air out. Deep breath in, breath extension. Slow breath out. You could add Ujjayi breath, which constricts the throat as you breathe in and out through the nose. Ujjayi breath is helpful for staying in a meditative state while you move, while you flow. It also is a heat building pranayama or breath work. And when you practice Ujjayi breath, you scrape the back of the throat with your breath and make the sound of the ocean. Now, keeping that attention on the breath, move into the body. Place the palms down on the floor. Come back up onto hands and knees and bring the knees right underneath the hips. With the knees wide, you'll readjust. Inhale, curl the toes under, tailbone up, cat and cow, not child's pose. Chin up, exhale, round in the spine. Push away from the floor, uncurl the toes. Inhale, curl toes under, roll the shoulders away from the ears, send the chin up. Exhale, round through the back, press through the hands, through the lower knuckles. Inhale, curl toes under again, open in the chest and in the heart. Exhale, uncurl the toes, round through the back, drop the tailbone, then pick up the belly. Come into a neutral spine now and extend through your left leg back. Feel the extension through the back of the left leg and feel the extension of the back of the right leg for a plank position. Now you could stay in plank with the knees lifted or the knees lowered for more support. Line up the shoulders with the hips. Try not to drop in that lower back, but pick up the hips. Navel in, long through the neck, and look slightly forward. Now this is not an easy posture to stay in, but stay with the breath to help you as you warm up the core, the center, and feel strong through the arms and hands. Great posture to build strength, high plank. Now tiptoe your way forward, or actually extend back into down dog first. First downward facing dog. Look at the hands and make sure the hands are adjusted so they're shoulder width apart, they're not too close together. And look back at the feet, press into the balls of the feet. Heels extend, feel the pressure underneath the feet, the weight of the hands. You can even bend the knees slightly, bend one knee at a time if you'd like to bicycle through the legs, or you can even hold still. Press the shoulders away from your ears and towards the waist. And take another deep breath to feel the spine, the back of the legs. Now slowly walk forward to the top edge of the mat. Tiptoe. Fold into Uttanasana, forward fold. Spill yourself over the legs and relax the head, relax the torso down to the floor. Keep the hands where they are, or hold opposite elbows in front or behind the legs. Focus on connecting the crown of the head closer to the mat. This will send a release from the lower spine down through the sides of the waist, down through the sides of the arms, and to the floor, closer to the earth. Deep breath in and out. Now soften the arms wherever they may be and slowly stack the spine. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Shoulders relaxed, face is relaxed, and stand tall. Inhale, shoulders up and back down the spine. Remember not to feel hurried through this practice, to take your own pace. You can follow mine or go even slower if you'd like. Inhale for sun salutation. Hands up overhead, slight arch in the back. Exhale, fold. Hinge from the hips, bring the arms down to the side. And place the hands on the shins. As you inhale, lift halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. Bring in the ribs with you, bring in the belly with you. Soften. Place the hands, fingertips on the floor, and take your left leg back. Take the right leg back to meet it, and lower the knees to the ground for modified Chaturanga. So take the shoulders forward, come onto the kneecaps, uncurl the toes, elbows back, and lots of weight into the hands, into the arms. Broaden through the front, collarbones. Onto the belly, belly button touches last. Inhale for low cobra, or press up a little higher for high cobra. Curl the toes underneath and lift the navel to come back into downward facing dog. Look between the hands again and slowly tiptoe forward. Feel all that weight underneath the feet, mindful walking. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, soften towards the legs and bring the arms out to the side, extending the arms wide, feeling the space around you. Exhale, fold again. Notice how each movement is initiated by the breath. Inhale, half lift, pike position. Exhale, fold. Step back into a high plank again. Press the palms down and lower the knees to the ground. Shift forward, uncurl the toes, elbows back towards the waist, and slowly come down to the floor. So if the belly button's coming down first, bring some more weight into the arms. Roll back, send the heart space forward for low cobra, perhaps high cobra, and then come back down into downward facing dog. Tiptoe forward, feeling each foot press down into the mat. Half lift. Exhale, release. Open through the chest, come all the way back up. Look up at the thumbs, exhale, fold again. Inhale, extend halfway. You can even place the hands on the floor now if there's more space behind the legs. Release, drop the head. Come back into your high plank position and lower to modified plank, modified Chaturanga. Slowly coming down. Inhale, extend through the back, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog, Ardha Uttanasana. Tiptoe forward, or actually we'll stay in downward facing dog for just another breath. Look back at the feet, keep them hip width apart, or bring the feet together so that the big toes are touching. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. Not a full extension, just enough to open the legs slightly. Bring the knee to the center of the chest. Slowly come all the way forward onto the hands. Pick up onto the right fingertips and place the right foot right between the hands. It's a lot harder said than done. It's easier just to step a little bit more forward, bring the body more forward. Now take the left heel down for warrior two. Take your time. Inhale that left arm up and over. Move over the right fingertips and align that back hip with the back ankle. Open the front knee towards the pinky edge of the mat. Long inhale, extend through the front leg. Reach for the front of the mat and pivot all the way forward for Trikonasana triangle pose. Now the hand can come anywhere from the thigh to the floor to the shin. And focus on extending through the back. So we're not shifting too far forward or too far behind. Inhale, come back through warrior two. And reverse, take the hand all the way back. Extend the front leg for reverse triangle. Breathe into it. Exhale, bend the knee. Take one hand to the floor. Then the other, runner's lunge, drop in the hip. And now place both hands down to the mat. Extend your right leg back into high plank position. Hold for a breath. Feel the strength and the glow through your core. On the exhale, press back into the heels. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Initiate with the inhale as you lift the left leg. Exhale, come all the way forward. Knee to the center of the chest, round the back. Come onto the left fingertips and step between the hands there. Right heel down to the floor. Come up into warrior two. Look over your left fingertips. Line up the side of the hip with the ankle. The front knee also opens. And now extend through that front leg. Reach forward, pivot the whole body. And notice how your center, your core supports you so that you can even lift that bottom hand up but still stay lifted to the body. Move through warrior two. Reverse the direction of the spine. Lift the top of the ribs and extend the front leg into reverse triangle. Press into the big toe mounds of both feet so that you're grounded. And now release, bend the left knee. Release one hand to the floor, one hand back. Pick up the back heel. Press firmly into the hands and step back into downward facing dog. Now you could stay in downward facing dog or shift forward into high plank for modified Chaturanga. Lowering onto the belly, but keep that belly button in all the way until you reach down to the floor. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay for a breath to connect to your sensations right now. You may be feeling a little warmer, more blood flow pumping. And this is a time to ease our hurried pace. Readjust the feet, the hands, either feet apart or feet together, and inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. On the exhale, bring the knee to the center, round a lot again, and glide through to step between the hands. Back heel stays off the mat now for Crescent Lunge. Press into both big toe mounds. Hands come up overhead, and then lean forward slightly so that you extend the back leg. And now shift. Shoulders over hips. Line up the hips evenly. You can bend slightly through that back knee. Lower the hands down so that they're in front of the shoulders. And now take your right hand behind you and twist for a water wheel. Look over the right fingertips. Draw the belly button in. And now keep that right hand coming forward, overhead. Exhale, soften. Bend at the hips. Place that left hand on the mat and take your right hand up overhead for a lunge twist. Extend through the back leg and then release the right hand down. Both hands on the floor. Lift to your right toes. Step back quietly into high plank position. Hold for a breath. Use your Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, Ardha Uttanasana. Feet together or apart, left leg comes up. Use the breath. Exhale, round through, glide through, press carefully between the hands. Back heel comes off the floor. Hands lift, sweep up. And then lean forward into that left knee, extend through the back leg. And now shift so that the shoulders stay right over the hips. Lower slowly with the hands so they're in front of the shoulders. And keep moving with that left hand. Open through the side body. Look back behind you, or you can look to the side. And then come forward once again. Fold at the waist. Place both hands on the mat and your right hand on the floor. Lift and twist. See if you can stack the shoulders. Twist a little more from the spine. And then come back down to center. Take the left leg back, downward facing dog, and hold downward facing dog. Or shift forward, high plank, lower the knees, uncurl the toes, modified Chaturanga. Feel the pressure underneath the hands, the feet. Feel the back of the legs open. The lower spine open. And now bring both knees to the floor, child's pose. I like using the variation with the knees open, but you can also bring the knees closed. And relax the head down. We'll stay for a couple of breaths. Now walk the hands back to the knees. Bring the knees together. Sit on the heels and place the hands at the heart. As you breathe deeply and slowly, notice if there was any shift. Shift in your mind and your body. And soften the hands. We don't often get to check in with ourselves when we're busy chasing the kiddos around. So taking this space for yourself is really important so that you can fill your own cup and have something to give to the kiddos. So we'll come into Dandasana staff pose. Feet extended and together and flexed. Engage through the toes. And sit up tall. This may or may not be comfortable. If you're feeling that you're rounding a lot in the back, all you have to do is bend the knees a little bit. So our focus for this Paschimottanasana, or head to knee pose, is mostly for the lower spine. So we'll extend the hands forward, right in front of the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen long. Remember, you can always bend those knees. Exhale, bend at the hips and reach forward. Imagine that I'm holding your wrists and I'm pulling you forward, 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 forward. And then all that extension in the torso keeps reaching. And now there's a certain spot where the body says it can't move anymore. Once you've hit that spot, relax the hands down. I like the floor, but you can use the feet, sides of the feet, or top of the feet or sides of the feet. The reason I like the floor is because it removes that temptation to force your way into the stretch. Pay attention to how your lower back feels. It may help to close the eyes, to breathe slowly. We'll hold for 3 more breaths. Shift back, sit up tall once again, And bend at the knees, feet on the floor. Come to the center of the mat. Extend the arms forward, palms up. You can also use your hands behind the thighs for more support and walk down the legs. And then round in the back, one vertebra at a time to the floor, starting with the tailbone, then the thoracic spine, and finally through the neck, lower down on the head. Bring the right knee in, left leg long, and feel a release through the hip and the lower spine. This is a supine twist, Supta Ardha Uttanasana. A mouthful there. Right arm to the side, and take your right leg across the body. Rest the foot on your bottom leg, or you could take that foot to the floor. If you have a prop next to you, you could even bring it on the floor. Just make sure that the right foot is resting on something. Now you could look up at the ceiling or look over to your right shoulder. As much as possible, guide your shoulders to the floor. It's okay if there's some space underneath there too. One more breath. Unwind from the twist by take that right knee back, center. And then lengthen your right leg out. Left leg comes in. Reach out with the opposite arm. Draw the knee across the body. And again, you could rest the top foot on the leg or on the floor. Turn the neck if that's available today. Now to release this twist, bend in the top knee, bring it back towards the chest, and soften. Hug yourself. Relax both feet on the floor, and readjust now for Shavasana. This is our final posture, the most important one. It may feel like it's not doing anything, but this is the point where body gets to process and reflect, and that's just as important as everything else. Now as you settle onto the mat, soften the feet and the hands so that they're pointing up to receive. Let the shoulders drop, close the eyes, and notice your breath again. Take a deep breath in. Pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale. Move into a natural breathing pattern. And feel yourself surrender to the support of your mat. You can stay here as long as you like, as much as your time allows. I thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.